I did a video on a fight in a Flyers-Bruins preseason game where Flyer Wade Allison fought Bruin Connor Carrick after a clean check Carrick put on Flyer Anton Roussel. Allison was issued an instigator penalty, which on top of the 5-minute fighting major comes with an extra 2-minute minor penalty and a 10-minute misconduct. So 17 total minutes and penalties. The point of my video was I liked the call, and I think the instigator penalty is a good thing for hockey. Flyers coach John Tortorella had some interesting things to say about the fight itself and Allison being given the instigator. Some of it was pleasantly surprising to me and completely unexpected, actually, and I agree with a lot of what he says in general here. So first off, here's what Tortorella had to say.
That was a good hit. It was a good solid hit. You're coming through the middle. You don't see it happen that often. I kind of like seeing it, although it was against our guy. That's part of the game. I think during the regular season, that happens. It's a big hit or a loud noise. The guy almost has to fight a guy, or a guy challenges him. I don't want our team to play that way. I want us to take hits, but he's trying to make the team. This is exhibition. I respect what he did, truly respect what he did. The thing that gets screwed up, and I think the National Hockey League has to get it straightened out, is the refs can't give a guy 10 minutes in an exhibition game. We got 15 managers and management teams of Boston and us trying to evaluate players. That poor soul sits out 17 minutes, a big man. He never gets himself back into the game. And it sucked for him. Doing the right thing, trying to make a team, and then the refs, boot him for that long.
So let's unpack a little bit of that. First of all, I don't agree with having to fight after big clean checks either. I want these clean checks in the game. I want to see more of them. And how is that going to happen if players have to fight all the time? Preseason, regular season, postseason, give me these checks all day long over some of the garbage we see that actually does deserve retribution. This is as clean as it gets. This is exactly what I want to see happen to my teammates so that they don't get hurt when dangerous things happen. Why would I punish Carrick for this? And I get that you're trying to evaluate a guy. You don't want him sitting for 17 minutes, but look how far out of his way he goes to start this fight. I mean, there's got to be some consequences there. You want to talk about doing the right thing, trying to make a team? How about Carrick? Allison just cost him 5 minutes of evaluation time for nothing. You got a guy lined up like this and you don't take advantage of him? You just do a nice, clean hockey play and then move on? Why does he have to get taken out of the game for 5 minutes? If you don't want the instigator penalty, that's fine. But then don't give Carrick 5 minutes for fighting in a situation where he's forced into a fight, having to defend himself against the guy who doesn't want his teammate to learn how to take a clean check. I don't know Torts, but he seems like a decent human being and he seems like a great coach. And if he wants his team to play the way where they actually just take a check and move on with the game, I'm all for that. I want to see more of that. Now, sometimes there is going to be things that happen on the ice where a player sees a check, clean or dirty, and they're going to decide that for whatever reason, it is worth fighting that player. It is worth standing up for the teammate and sending that message. We can say we respect it sometimes. Sometimes it is worth stepping up for a teammate and taking that extra penalty. But what we can't say is that we shouldn't give that player the penalty. It's a choice they make, and there has to be a consequence for it. That official is being evaluated too, by the way. He's got a job to do, and it's to keep players safe and keep them playing within the rules. He has to call that. So when a Flyer takes a clean check just like this, that player is just as protected from retribution as Carrick was here. The goal should be consistency, transparency, and consistency. And we can't get there if we're calling the preseason differently than the regular season, if we're calling veterans differently than rookies, if we're only protecting stars, for example. And it would definitely send the wrong message not to enforce a rule specifically designed to encourage players to play the right way, to do things exactly like this instead of headhunting. Why would we want to see that punished? A player who does this, who plays within the rules, deserves to be rewarded more so than the player who skates 3 zones to engage that player after he delivers a clean check.